You are listening to Love, Light, Lonnie, the podcast. I'm Lonnie Nishiyama, and join me as we discover the gifts that live within all of us and how these gifts bring us together to love, help others, inspire, and of course, vibrate higher. Welcome to Love, Light, Lonnie. Hi guys, it's Lonnie, and I am back for another episode. I have not done one since Linz was here, and in the spirit of Lindsay, I am going to start this podcast off with like a quiz or like questions because I thought it was like successful last time. I don't know how you can measure success in a podcast besides viewership, but I guess it was successful. I don't know. To me, it felt good, so I'm going to do it. Okay, so first of all, I Googled like random questions to ask parents that are kind of relatable. So, one of the first ones I saw was, what is the most annoying thing about your spouse? Okay, if you're married or with someone or whatever. For me, this is a good question because you can't just pick one thing. There are several things. My husband's amazing and like literally the perfect man for me, but look, I'm pretty sure I feel kind of perfect, but let's be honest. I think for me, it's kind of like gotten down to the most annoying thing is like not putting things where they belong. So like sometimes he's very goal oriented and he works really hard. So when he comes home, I've literally found milk in the cupboard next to the cereal, like not in the refrigerator. And then I'm like, okay, well, I don't know how long it's been here and it feels warm, so now I have to throw it away. So it's like those things. It's like, okay, so you grabbed it out of the refrigerator, you poured the milk into the cereal, then you put it in the cupboard, and then you left. And now I have to buy more milk. So it's something like that. But also, he works really hard. He goes at it, so I can't like give him grief for it. I just kind of like, hey, next time, try to put the milk back in the refrigerator. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, never mind. But since I'm perfect, it doesn't matter, right? Because I do nothing annoying. Um, okay, so did your parents ever catch you smoking or drinking when you were a teen? Yes. Have you ever acted sick to skip school? All the time. I had bullies growing up. Like, why would I want to go to school and like get beat up or have girls talk about me or put honey on my books or like stand in a circle and make fun of me? Like, nobody wants that. And look, I've been bullied. Like, it was a real thing. And, people go through that now. People are more aware of it, thank goodness. But it is a real thing. And like, no one deserves that. So, yeah, sometimes you got to skip school or you're like on your period, whatever. Cramps are real. Um, what did you eat for lunch at school as a child? This is funny because I've talked about this before, but I remember bringing Spam Musubi to school thinking I was like the coolest kid ever. And like everyone made fun of me and thought I was the grossest human ever. So, eat to each their own. But my favorite lunch was always Spam Musubi or my mom's bacon fried rice. But I got really made fun of for it. Um, what What's the first major news story you remember from your childhood? There are a couple, but I remember. Um, you know, well, okay, I'd say the main one was probably 9/11. I was in high school and I woke up in the morning and to my parents screaming and like coming in and being like, watch the news and like seeing the second plane hit like live. It was totally traumatizing and honestly, like I'm gonna cry. My ex-boyfriend from college like is from New York City and I remember one of the first times I hung out with some of his friends and we were in New York in Long Island. And I remember one of his friends drove us back to our house and, because we had been partying. So it's like he was not drinking or anything. And he drove us back and dropped us off. And I remember saying like, oh, well, tell your parents thank you for letting you stay out. And he goes, well, I only have a mom. And I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I didn't know, or your parents divorced. Like, I wasn't trying to offend you. And he goes, no, my dad died in 9/11. And I was like, um, why am I crying so much? Sorry. I was like totally shocked because it's like, you don't, you're young and you meet someone and, I was in my 20s at that point, but it's like, wow, like it was just really sad. So I think that was like a really hard one for me. I don't understand violence or people being mean. In this world today, I think this is why we have a lot of anxiety is because of everything that's happening right now. Um, and then I guess my last one here is, what was your favorite room in the house that you grew up in? Well, that's an interesting question because I grew up in many houses because of I have divorced parents and I lived in a lot of different places. But I will say this, I always felt energy. And I remember if I liked a room, I really liked it. And if I didn't, I couldn't even go in there. And I remember sometimes I would leave for a whole summer and visit my dad in Hawaii and then come back. And I'd be like, Mom, I don't like this room anymore. It changed. The energy's gone. I can't be here anymore. And that's something really weird for me. Like, I never knew energy was real then. Like, I mean, I did. I was a kid. I did. But I didn't understand it the way I do now. And so I could literally go into a restaurant or a city or a place and feel something and then go back again and be like, it's completely different. And I don't feel as comfortable anymore. So I associate like energy with memories and people and things like that. And if things shift, I don't feel the same. It could literally be one day. Like I go to dance class and have the best rehearsal and feel so good about it. And then go back like a day or two later and be like, this place doesn't feel the same and I can't dance the same. it's, it's just how I feel. So it would feel like darker or it'd feel like not is welcoming or something like that. So that's it. Okay, I'm done with these questions. It actually made me cry. Woo! Okay, so diving into anxiety. Yay. It's not that bad. I just feel like everything around us has been crazy. We had the 11/11 portal. If you believe in that or not, doesn't matter. It's just we've been having a lot of shifts, a lot of things happening in our world, wars and violence and really sad things. And anytime I see something with a child, I like get very affected. So it's been hard to watch the news, even though I want to be involved so that I can make appropriate decisions when I'm voting and doing things like that, or trying to donate or volunteer our time. Like I always am very aware, but it's just really hard. So everyone's going through it. I literally go to workouts and I'm like in the room and I can feel everyone and I'm like, oh, hey guys, it's gonna be okay. We're okay. And I'm like, I hope I'm okay. But it is gonna be okay because we're here to learn and we're here to grow. And as much as sometimes I want to crawl into a hole or into my bed and like sleep all day, I can't do that. I have to get things done and I have children. So that's like not really an option. Like a nap is not an option. But um, it's been rough. And today is raining and I'm actually happy because sometimes I think rain is actually cleansing. I have friends who believe that too. Like they see rain outside, they get excited. Like my friend Galia, my friend Lindsay. And so it's like they get really excited because it's like, okay, it's a brand new start. We're going to cleanse things and refresh it. And the one thing that I've been really struggling with is um, friendships and relationships. I really, it's kind of ridiculous because I tell my friend, or I'm sorry, I tell my kids like, be nice to your friends and don't do this and don't do that. But it's like, I mean, do you, boo? Like I have my daughter come home and she's like, this girl is so mean. She's like, I want to punch her. And I'm like, don't laugh, but I'm like, yeah, you can't punch people. Violence is never the answer. But like, what is going on with you that you feel this way? And she's like, well, it's because she took my toy, then she yelled at me and blah, blah, blah. And I told the teacher, but she kept doing it. And it's like, I get it. You want to defend yourself, but we can't hit people. So like, how can you shift it so that she knows that you're standing your ground? My daughter is very tiny, by the way. So she's like, okay. And, you know, she goes to school the next day, and after I told her all this like 2 days ago, and she's like, I told her, you leave me alone. If not, my mom's gonna come after you. First of all, I'm not going after a 4-year-old. And it's kind of funny, but she was trying to like stand her ground. And I love that because I never did that. I just kind of took it. My parents or my mom always said, kill them with kindness. And there is something to that. You should be kind to others, but kill them with kindness. Like, come on. Sometimes you got to stand up for yourself so people know not to step all over you, right? And you do it in a way that's not disrespectful, but you just leave me alone. I'm good. So that's something we're going through. But I feel like half the time I want to be friends with people and I want to be near them, but also their anxiety rubs off on them or off of them onto me. And then I can feel everything they're feeling. And that's part of being an empath. But like, I can't deal with it. So I have to first fill my cup up and I have to make sure I'm okay. And then I can be around that. And it's not to offend anyone. It's just that literally I'm going through things too, even though maybe at times it looks like I got my crap together, but it's not that way. Like there are a lot of things happening in my life, my families, my friends, like it's a lot. But I do want people to know that like I'm trying to do my best. So I think we're all doing that. I'm saying this, but I think everyone's doing that. Hey, I just got to do my best. I got to try my hardest. Like I'm under a little bit, you know? I used to say this in the restaurant industry because when I was serving and bartending and managing restaurants, it was we are under like thunder. And sometimes you're under like thunder, but to get back up, you just got to collect yourself, take a deep breath, and then keep going. And you just do the best you can in the moments. I can't think about the past. That's going to give me lots of anxiety. I can't think about the future. That's also going to give me anxiety and make me depressed. So all I can do is right now, think about now, take a deep breath because I'm not breathing, and then move forward. And so I'm trying to do that now, and I feel like I'm sort of accomplishing it, sort of not. And one thing that keeps me super grounded is actually being a mom. So being around my kids, you don't have time to think about like, oh, does my friend like me, or is my family going to be mad at this, or what do I have to do tomorrow? Am I going to get everything done? Am I going to make enough money? Am I going to, whatever. No, because in the moment, you're just like, I have to get on the ground and play with my kid. Okay, now we do Kumon. It's this tutoring math thing. It's insane. I almost don't want to do it anymore, but keeps us grounded. So we do that and we just do all our activities and it really helps and I love it. And if I didn't have kids, then there would be other ways I could do it, but I guess I'm blessed to have them because it does help me, even though it's the hardest job I've ever had in my literal entire life. And I've had some crazy jobs. So we're all just trying to get through this time. And it's been really crazy and really ugly at times with, everything that's happening. And I want to say this too. You only have one life to live. And if I'm going to sit here and think about everything that I need to get done or accomplished in life, or everything in the past that has brought me down, or I've lost friendships or it doesn't matter. It makes me who I am. So I need all that. It makes me the person I am. So I have to live for now and I have to be present. Because if not, it's going to go by in a blink of an eye. It just the way the last 4 or 5 years have with my kids. And I'm going to miss it all. And I don't want to miss those things. I think love is the most important thing, and it's why we're here. So if I come here and it's like love is going to help me and love is keeping us together, I have to truly believe in that. And everything that's happening in the world, unfortunately, is supposed to happen for some reason that a higher source is conducting, and I don't understand it, but I can do the best that I can in my role and my abilities and my ways of contribution. And other than that, I don't know any other way, but I have to live my life and I'm not going to let those things affect me. and I love my friends and I love my family members, but I also have to do me. If I'm not good here, no one else can be good around me, because how can I even give to them? I'm giving them half a heart, half an energy or soul. Like, so it's not good. Thank you so much for being part of this today. I don't know if this was helpful or not. Maybe not, but we're doing the best that we can. And something that my daughter says to me, that makes me feel like I can do anything is, I love your heart. And I love your heart is more than just like, I love you. It's like, I love your heart. I love who you are. And so just go and love yourself, love your heart, and love. Thank you. Bye.